For the first part, I'm going to put the fabric and then the foam and then the seat part. And I'm basically going to stretch the fabric and staple it. And it's just you keep making it as tight as possible and just keep stapling all the way around. You may need to cut here and there, just play it by ear kind of thing. I also realized after this I put the fabric on the wrong way. I wanted the navy going the opposite way. So I had to redo it, but the principle is the same, so I didn't refilm it. For the back of the chair, it's the same general principle. I have the chair, then the foam, and now the fabric. This one's a little different because it doesn't have anything it can go around. So I just stretch it as far as I can, and then I, staple it down. I also had to trim it a little bit just to make sure that it would be in the right place. And I'll cover it later with some trim, so just make sure you have it to the right size. I thought it was easier to trim it this way. This part right here is why I had to take the chair apart so I could staple it properly underneath. The back side of the chair was a bit different. I wanted a nice clean edge, so I used an iron and ironed over it like a hem. So just fold it over so it looks nice and clean, and then I cut here and there just to make sure it'll fit properly. Again, you're just going to stretch as tight as you can and then just staple. And I like to do the top first, that way I know it's going to be even, and then kind of the middle area so that way it's just stretched and pretty all the way throughout. I recommend not trimming the excess fabric until you know it's on there right. It'll help if you need to take it apart and redo it. Thankfully, this one I did right. For the trim, I'm just putting tacks down and then hammering it in, so that way it'll stay as I glue it more. As you can see, I put tacks all the way around. That way it'll keep it so it'll dry. This glue takes like 2 days to dry. And then I just stapled the last one. I'm just using white to prime the bottom part of the chair where I want to paint it a different color. Now I'm using chalk to draw the flowers that I'm going to paint in the top. They'll be a lot more detailed when I paint them in, but I just like to use chalk because it's easy to erase. I'm starting with navy paint because it's the darkest and it's in the background of the flowers, so I just want to make sure I get that first, and then the lighter colors can overlap it. I'm just filling in the last of the base coat of all the flowers, and if you see my mouth moving, it's because I like to sing while I paint. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. for the detail work. Woohoo! I was originally going to do flowers all down the sides and the arms, but then I realized, oh, that'll be way too busy. So I ended up not doing that. But I did want a splash of color on the arms, so I'm just filling in that little space between. So now I'm going to attach my cushion to my chair. And I have new screws because my old ones that came with the chair were super stripped. So now I'm going to just hand screw each one just to get it in the right spot and then use a drill to finish. So I had to finagle this. So third time's a charm trying to put these screws in. I had to, match it all up. For some reason the old screw holes weren't working, so I had to go in and drill it again. So I think these are a little bit longer because I almost drilled through my fabric. So I'm going to not go all the way in, but I think it'll be enough to hold it in place without going through the fabric, because that would be really sad. It would make all this work for nothing. So now I'm going to try to drill them in. Let's hope it works. A little bit shorter screws. It all drills in, but I feel like they're too long because now, see, that happens, which I guess isn't a big deal that it's all wobbly, but it's just not preferred. I'd rather it look nice and clean and not have to worry about sitting down and getting poked. So I'm going to see if I can find some shorter screws. Okay, so my silly butt forgot about the screw holes. So I had to cut away the material for the screw holes so I can put the cushion to the chair. So yeah, be mindful of that. The fourth time was the charm. The nails were too long, and it was all wobbly. So I found some of these, or not the nails, the screws. So I found some of these. It's a lot shorter than the original, but it worked for all three except this bottom one. So I used a combination of these, and it looks pretty sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Yay! I figured it out. I thought I was gonna have to run to Lowe's. Whew, but I didn't, it's okay. Now I'm gonna cover the bottom just to cover all this mess up. Not that it really matters, but it's just what you do apparently. So the old one was all torn up because I just cut it off. So I got new. It's just like a really thin black material. Any kind will do, but this was specifically made to cover the bottom. And also it was on sale, so that was nice. It was 40% off. So it was like $1, which is awesome. So now I'm just gonna try to match it up and cover the bottom. And it'll probably be cut into a couple pieces, but honestly, it's not gonna matter because nobody's gonna see the bottom. It's just, I don't know, something you do. I'm just gonna staple it as I go, and then I can cut it and it'll stay, so I don't have to worry about, you know, keep going back and forth. This is also good because it'll cover up these gross old staples and where I just ripped it, because I didn't feel like taking out all those staples because you're not gonna see it, so it'll help cover all that up and just make it look nice and clean. Okay, so anytime you paint wood, you want to add a nice polyurethane, or this one's polyacrylic, and it's matte. But you could use like a shiny one, but you just want to make sure that you cover it and seal it so that way your paint doesn't scratch off. I've learned that the hard way. So just make sure you seal it, and I'm just going to do it all over. Thank you so much for watching Wednesdays We Craft. Whoop, chair it is, part 2. Hi, Katniss. So a few things I would do differently. I have to talk about it. So I would definitely, so you know how they say measure twice, cut once? Well, I would definitely place it twice, staple once, because there were several times that you didn't see that I had to take out new staples to redo it. So that's a recommendation, I would say. And then add more cushion, because it's not the most comfy chair in the world, but it is pretty. And I like the way that it looks. And it's nice to have as guest seating, you know, if I don't have enough room here or there. Katniss seems to like it. And I think it matches my living room pretty well. So all in all, I'd say it's a success, but it will be a while before I redo or reupholster another chair, because it was a lot of work, I feel like. Probably like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it gets. This is the second chair I've done, but this one definitely turned out better than the first. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I have social media. Please add it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. I'm really excited about the Facebook group. It's Wednesdays We Craft. And I would love to see your projects, what you're working on. You know, we can talk about ideas. It's great. So please check that out and add. And I'll have them in the link below. Also, I have the supplies in the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Katniss, you're silly. Say hi, Katniss. She wanted to be in the video, apparently. Anyway, see you next week.